Association and this station.
Marlis Winkles talks about cornerstone cabinets and countertops.
From the moment my husband and I stepped into their room, we were warmly welcomed, and I knew I wanted to work with Bonnie and Lisa to make my dream kitchen a reality. They made helpful suggestions, and Bonnie even came to my house, which was amazing to me, to see the furniture pieces I wanted to incorporate in my design. So I couldn't be more satisfied, and I would tell anybody to choose Cornerstone Cabinets to do their kitchen.
Cornerstone Cabinets and Countertops, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Serving those who served takes passion and commitment. Start a career with a mission and receive a sign-on bonus plus state benefits through the Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs at the Fergus Falls Veterans Home. You'll become a hero to our heroes with a rewarding career in nursing. Now hiring for healthcare positions and CNAs today. Learn more or apply at minnesota-veteran.org. Fergus Falls Jobs.
Last night, 116-99 against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Mike Conley says the Wolves were focused for all 48 minutes.
Yeah, we were. I thought we did a great job of just, staying disciplined more than anything. I think that's been our biggest thing, is not being disciplined for a 48-minute game, letting ourselves slip a little bit and causing ourselves to lose leads or give up, big runs. So I'm just happy that we were able to stick to the game plan, communicate to each other the whole game, and just lean on each other as the game went on.
Minnesota plays again tonight at home against Cleveland. The Minnesota Wild are at Nashville tonight with game time at 7 p.m. In professional women's hockey last night, the Minnesota Frost lost at Montreal 4-2. Golden Gopher men's hockey beat Notre Dame last night 5-2, while Golden Gopher women's hockey beat Minnesota State Mankato 8-3. This is MNN.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night, too. Did you have a clue?
No, but teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you have a concern about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is going to tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Grand Count. 12:50 a.m. KBRF, Fergus Falls. Depend on it.
Newstalk 1250 KBRF now presents The Coaches Show with Craig Olson. Brought to you by Nelson Auto Center, Quality Toyota, LB Homes, American Federal Bank, American Legion, the Minnesota Motor Company, and by the Artisan Agency. Here's KBRF Sports Director Craig Olson.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the program as we bring you interviews for the next hour and a half with Otter and Comet coaches. Winter season is in full swing, and we are welcoming Matt Johnson, who is bold enough to get out in the cold today. This is just life in the winter, isn't it, Matt? I mean, we're talking about the basketball schedule, and Matt's really busy right now for a number of reasons. Young kids is one of them who are experiencing basketball, and as a family, boy, it's a commitment, but you just kind of get used to everything, don't you?
It's what we do, right? It's a busy schedule, so we you sign up for it and you try to really enjoy and embrace all those moments. And today we'll be working the girls' backcourt tournament, reffing some games, and my wife's in the concessions, and kids will be at scorers' tables. And then tomorrow we'll head to a 7th grade tournament down the road, and it's really fun time. It's busy. The cold doesn't help, but we signed up to live in Minnesota, so I think that comes with the territory.
Well, one thing I've always said, and I've done this job for over half a century covering sports, in the winter in Minnesota, when you're involved in something, the winter goes fast. I mean, it just flies. Before you know it, it's spring training.
Right? It really does. We stay so busy, and I even think, the shortened daylight, we really don't notice it. You go to
Right.
school and it's dark, and you get out of practice and it's dark, and that's just kind of what it is. So some of those things really are just part of it. But such a fun season. Thankful to get to be in the gym as much as we are, because it does make that cold season go pretty quick.
Well, and the Otters now are at 10 wins. You had a couple of good wins this week. Went to Brainerd and beat the Warriors 73-52 on Tuesday, and then last night you had a home court win against Tech 80-63. Let's talk about that Brainerd game, because it's always a tough place to play. The Warriors always match up well with the Otters, it seemed, but just a really good win on the road in the Central Lakes Conference.
Yeah. It's one of those games going there. We haven't really been healthy. Ankle stuff. Sickness. So it felt like a night you didn't quite know what you were going to get out of us. And then I was really, really proud of the effort of our guys. It was, I thought, the most connected we've been, if that's probably the right word, both defensively and offensively. I thought we communicated well defensively. Really were disciplined in our game plan, in how we want to defend teams and how we want to disrupt. And I thought we did a really nice job of taking them out of what they're comfortable with. So that was really fun on the defensive end. And then offensively, ball moved early. We've been waiting. I keep saying we're a pretty good shooting team, and the numbers would tell you a different story. But I don't believe the numbers. And it was a night where Isaac Ellison got going. Henry shot it well. Micah hit a couple. And so it was really fun to see that happen. Isaac Ellison was terrific. He had a terrific week. He was really good again last night. And he's learning, when shots go, you're able to relax and just play. And when they're not going, you squeeze a little tighter, you worry a little more, and the game doesn't flow. And we're seeing him settle in now, play confident, and not just shoot. He's shooting it well, but it's translated into really, really good defense. And last night he rebounded the ball like crazy. I think he had 13 rebounds last night. Just a terrific effort. So it's really fun to see him settle in. Still got to get some guys healthy. Levi went down in that game early in that game again. Didn't play last night, so give him some rest here this week and hopefully have him back next week. But anytime you miss somebody out of that rotation, certainly has an impact.
You talk about it a lot, I think, as a coaching staff with your players and especially your bench players. You got to be ready, guys, because you're going to get your opportunity. You may not be out there a lot of minutes right now, but when that opportunity comes, you got to be ready, right? And how satisfying is it to see guys like Isaac, who you knew had the capability to do it, he did the last 2 games, answer that challenge and meet the expectations when they're put into a different role?
Yeah, ultimately, I'm just happy for them, right? They put in so much work. I think it was... We were at Brainerd Tuesday. On Sunday afternoon, I think Isaac spent 3 hours in the gym working on his shot, right? And then it translated. So kids learning that extra work, extra effort, persistence and grit, good things happen. And those are life skills that we talk about all the time. So to see Isaac having success, Luke hit a couple last night. He's starting to turn the corner and settle in. And then some of the unsung guys that show up every day. Jack Ratz is one of those guys that I think had a terrific week. And he's not a headline grabber necessarily. He's rarely going to lead us in scoring or any statistical category, but he's our best communicator, a terrific screener, does all the dirty work, is physical. In a couple of games where we needed a physical body, he's been there, reliable. And so he's a kid who has been playing really well. We don't talk about enough, but he's been a huge part of what we're doing and part of our success. And then last night, Marcus Mock got in the game, got some minutes. And again, a senior who shows up every day, works his tail off, says, yes, sir. We say, hey, we need you over on this court to help us with this. We need you over here. And he's practiced really well all year. And we've talked as a coaching staff, how do we get him an opportunity? It's really easy to play 7. You can usually play 8. And you get to number 9, 10, it gets really hard. And when you got young kids fighting for those minutes too, it's been a challenge. But we've been really happy to get him a couple of opportunities this week too, and been well deserved.
The nature of reporting on these games focus on points and rebounds and assists and all that, all the numbers, and of course the final score. But Micah Johnson, I want to talk about Micah and what he brings, because Micah had 10 the other night in Brainerd, which you're not going to see that from him a lot. He's very capable of it. if you let him shoot as much as some of the other guys, he'd score 15, 20 points, you know.
Yep.
But last night he had 1 point, and yet was probably as effective or efficient last night against Tech as he was at Brainerd.
He's so disruptive defensively. His ability to pressure the ball, stay in front of the ball, generally without fouling, and he's just annoying. If you're a ball handler, you can never relax because he's going to get a hand on it. He's going to deflect it. When you think you have him beat, he's all of a sudden in front of you. He's as good of an on-ball defender as I've coached, which has got him right. The last couple of years, he's played a lot of minutes and hasn't not because he's a high volume scorer, right? Capable, yes. His role, not really right now. And we've asked him to maybe be a little more assertive, and we've seen that in the last couple of weeks where he's finding ways that he can impact us on the offensive end of the floor too. But yeah, what he does defensively is really fun to watch. It impacts the game. He also handles it well, takes care of the basketball. There's again one of those kids who there aren't many kids who spend more time in the gym than Micah, working on his shot, working on his handles. Just a terrific worker. But yeah, his defensive ability is top notch.
So who leads you in taking charges? I'm thinking Micah's right up there.
Micah, Levi's given him a run this year. But I think last year, I think Micah took like 35 last year, and I think maybe not quite this year. I don't think he's on quite that kind of a pace. But the amazing part is how many he takes on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just the blind side step over and take a charge on somebody coming down the lane. He'll take it on the ball because he'll just beat kids to the spot.
You had an outstanding high school and collegiate career, Matt, in Fergus Falls, and I don't know what you remember about those years statistically, if anything, but I'm guessing that you're pretty high up there in taking charges too. You take a lot of pride in that you did as a player, and I think you do as a coach.
Yep. I always felt that was always my role, right? Defend, distribute the ball, and so tried to do that at the highest level. And a couple games stand out there, but yeah, it was always fun. I remember playing at the college and Aaron Grove and Jason Ratzloff as assistants. Before the contact would happen, they'd be hollering, we're going the other way. That's a charge. And we would laugh about it after the game on how that would transpire. But yeah, fun memories.
It can turn the momentum so quickly when you take a charge and just get everybody fired up,
Yeah, I just think there's a self-sacrifice to it, being willing to take a hit for your team and help position. So I think it's a team play that probably has a bigger impact than you would expect.
Yeah, I think we've come to appreciate taking charges a lot statistically too. We talked about Isaac Ellison. How about Alex? Alex has been playing some consistent, really well-rounded basketball for you.
Yeah, consistent's the word. He's been tough, right? He'll get those gritty rebounds. He'll scrap. He's finished really well. He's been attacking the rim really well. I feel like, again, just a confident kid with who he is and what his role is and how he plays, but does a little bit of everything. I think defensively, I'm comfortable giving him any assignment, whether it's a guard, whether it's a big, super versatile player, but playing some of his basketball too. And again, not necessarily the guy who's going to lead us in scoring, but he's going to give you a consistent 10, 12 points, 5, 6 rebounds, tough ones. Doesn't turn it over. So I've been really, really happy with the way he's played. And again, a kid we probably don't talk about enough for all the little things he does to make us a winning team. Super coachable, lets us coach him hard. We get a yes, sir out of him, and then he goes and fixes what you've talked about. So love coaching Alex. He's been really good this year.
And consistent scoring has been the MO for Henry Bethel and for Ryan Hurst. They lead you practically every game, although we've seen Isaac step up and other guys step up. But Henry last night had 32, and he's just one of those guys. It seems like if Henry wants to get to the basket, he's going to find a way to get there. Now, it may not always be a productive thing, but he's going to put some pressure on the defense. He's
a special athlete. He's the most athletic kid I've coached.
Yeah.
Has ability to get by guys, and there's a well-roundedness to his game that we keep kind of poking and prodding, and he keeps moving in that direction. Really early I thought he was a high volume scorer, and now he's become far more efficient. He's moved the ball better. Last night, I think, had 4 assists, 1 turnover. And those are the numbers we've been begging for. Just keeping the game simple. He likes to play with a little flair. He's good at it.
Yep.
And when it works well, it's a huge momentum builder, and it's a ton of fun. But against the best teams, I think just being solid is going to be the requirement. And he keeps building towards that. But yeah, his ability to score, get by guys, make difficult shots. Some of his finishes. It's really fun. Incredibly special kid. That have not been a lot more talented kids come around the area in a really long time.
And Ryan Hurst, I think with Julie Nelson takes some pictures from my website, sends me stuff. Thank you, Julie, for that. But she said, I think in the picture she sent of Ryan Hurst last night, she said, I think this was his 3rd dunk of the first half. And I'm like, boy, I remember when if you had 1 dunk in a game from anybody, it was like big stuff.
Yeah, it was the story, right?
Right.
Did you see the dunk last night? Yeah. And now it's just, another dunk. Nice. Yep. Ryan, again, a little bit like Henry, just a super talented kid. He's going to get to go play next year at Jamestown, and I think that's a place he can go have an instant impact. He's bouncy. Offensive ability is terrific. Really good defender. So it's really fun to watch him grow, mature. Again, a kid that we keep trying to build his all-around game with what he's doing. But yeah, just has a huge impact at what we do. His ability to protect the rim, finishes above the rim consistently. But fun to watch kids grow, get better, and improve. And he's one of those guys. Really is again, numbers wouldn't necessarily show it. He doesn't take a ton of them, but has worked on his shot a ton, and a guy who has really become a really well-rounded player that can score in a variety of ways. And we lean heavily on him. He's one of those guys you want the ball to touch his hands every possession. Willing passer, good vision. We just get better when he touches the ball. So it's been fun to see him play this year too.
Fun to talk about all these guys who make the Otters successful. 10 wins, 2 wins this week. And now you go to Wilmer on Tuesday, another conference matchup. What are the Cardinals?
Yep, I think
Thursday.
I think Thursday.
Yeah, sorry.
Thursday we're at Wilmer. And they've not a great record. I know they've got a couple young kids that can really score. So having to show up, and we talked about that last night with our guys. Tech came in with a 3-9 record, but you've got to show up and play. You're gonna get everybody's best shot because you're a good team. And so we'll have to be ready there, and then we'll have a really tough one at West Fargo, a big athletic team. We won't out-athlete them. We'll have to out-basketball them a little bit, and that'll be a good challenge for us on Saturday.
Awesome. Good deal. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate you coming in the cold.
You bet.
Enjoy your basketball weekend. It's always a basketball weekend at the Johnson House, for sure. Matt Johnson, head coach of the Otter boys basketball team. We'll take a break. We're going to talk swimming and diving. Randy Hansen will be here. A lot to talk about there. They had their Section True team meet last week and have been busy since also. So more to come here on News Talk 1250 KBRF and streaming live on the Fergus Now app.
Portions of today's program may be pre-recorded.
Finding that missing shin guard. Remembering whether it's a home or away game. Getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things. Like not being that fan. Oh, come on, Ref! That's simple human sense.
Visit the Arneson Agency at their new location, 120 East Lincoln, Fergus Falls.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Quality Toyota is proud to salute the achievements of each quality player. It takes teamwork to compete, and the Quality Player Award recognizes the extra effort by an individual in each athletic contest. Quality Toyota commends the hard work, dedication, and quality efforts of these outstanding youth. That attitude will help each quality player as they go forward. Congratulations to each of the quality players from Quality Toyota on West Lincoln Avenue in Fergus Falls. QualityToyota.net. Let's go places.
High-quality local embroidery for your community. Running Stitches is the choice for everything, from business logos to team apparel and personal projects. They bring your designs to life. Andrew and Allison Olson from Running Stitches Embroidery are proud supporters of local sports.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Welcome back to the program, Saturday mornings, 8 to 9:30. We are here to talk Otter and Comet sports, and Randy Hansen is joining us, head coach of the Otter boys swimming and diving team. And the Otters, well, last Saturday, Randy wasn't with us because he was kind of busy at the section true team meet and then duel with Alexandria earlier this week also. But back to Saturday, Randy, and you were, third in the true team competition.
Yep, right.
Is that kind of where you thought you'd fall?
Yeah, it was going to be a battle between Alec and Melrose Sock Center for one. Alec had a couple DQs that cost them the title, and so Melrose Sock Center snuck by a couple points. When you score 1,000 points in a meet to win by, I think it was less than 20, is pretty good. So they were pretty excited. But there's a wild card thing too so Alec is also swimming in the state true team meet today along with Melrose Sock Center down at the U. So good for them. That wasn't surprising that they're both going and that they both fought. So we knew third was realistic, but we had to hold off DL and. I didn't really tell the guys a score, but, we know we have to make up for diving because we didn't get any points. And last year, Will Nuss scored, I looked back, he scored us 18 points in diving. And this year we got none. And so we were down 56 points before we even got in the building. But they responded really well. I think we finished 29 points ahead of DL for third, and that's about what we were hoping for.
Now, you had some guys miss the Alec meet earlier this week. Were you healthy at the true team meet pretty much? I know the sickness has been running through not only the team, but the school.
Yeah, we had all of our bodies, but I'm not sure if we were 100% entirely because it seemed like after that I had lots of messages from kids and parents. I'm homesick, I'm sick. So, we're in bad shape right now. Ethan Strandy's been out for a little while. Lannon's been out for a little while. A couple of our younger guys have been out, and so we're not real big to begin with, and so it's hard for us to ride that wave. But it is what it is. I mean, other teams are sick too. When we went to Alec, their top breaststroker was out sick, and so it's just what it is. And so hopefully we get everybody back. Strandy should be back here this week. Landon, we'll see. So it's just and then other people like Reese and Matthew are both not 100%. I mean, they're at practice in school every day, but they're just like their lungs are just hurting, and so it's just, it's everywhere in school, so it's what it is.
Well, and when guys miss school and miss practice and miss meets, it's hard to get them back to where they were in this sport because it's such a training-heavy and regimented training schedule.
Yeah, and we can weather it right now because we've got a pretty decent base. We're on, week 7, so it's midway through the season. So it's not so bad as it would be, like, early in the season, or definitely late. If we miss them during taper time, then we're, that's a little bit trickier. So we'll be okay as long as we get them back to a certain degree this week. Then we should be all right, but yeah, hopefully we don't have any more drop because, like I said, we aren't super big, and so it's hard to weather that.
Talk about some of the highlights here from the true team meet. And you get a first place in an event against teams that you were competing against in a big meet like that, and that kind of stands out. And your 400 freestyle relay team won that final event. Were they on their game from the start, the first leg to the last?
Yeah, they really are the best 400 relay team in the section right now, and so it's who knows what teams are going to put together for the section meet, but we are several seconds ahead of everybody else at this point, which is good, and we haven't put together our best relay. They actually swam their best time against Sauk Rapids. They had to win that event to win the meet,
right?
And they came back and they were super fired up, and that was awesome. And they swam their best time of the season. Not too well. That was the 2nd of January, I believe. So. This one wasn't quite as fast, but still in the ballpark and still far enough ahead of everybody. We feel really pretty good about where that's at, and lots of PRs from most of the guys, and a couple of the other guys were right in the neighborhood. So yeah, they're going to drop some serious time when it comes section time. So that was nice to get the win on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's fun to win events, but the thing I love about your sport and all your sports, because when you do the running too, you're going against yourself all the time, and you're seeing personal bests and career bests, and even in a meet like this, you had a number of time drops.
Yeah, and they're not super huge because we're working, lifting 3 days a week, and we're still just working them hard. And they were dragging out of the pool yesterday, but that's what we got to do at this point. Yeah, so there's always, you compete against the clock, compete against the guy next to you, but you're always looking at what did I swim in the last meet and how can I get better and faster. And so with those relays, we can look at their best splits and say, all right, you were a PR this one, you were a little bit slower on this one, and that is one of the beauties of swimming for sure.
Talk about Matthew Toole's week, because Matthew won he won the 500 last Saturday, and then he had 2 firsts and a relay first against Alexandria, I believe. What is Matthew doing well right now to get to this level?
Yeah, if you ask him, he probably would say not much. He's pretty not happy with himself and not happy with his time. So to get the win at True Team was nice, and his time is not quite where he wants to be. But again, he's not 100% healthy. There's a little sick that was running through his family, and he's kind of getting the lingering effects of that, I think. And then just the training wise, it's been hard. So he's, he has high expectations and he's not satisfied. And so he, might win the event, but he's not happy with the time. And, but it'll come, it'll be there. I know, at the Alec meet, it was, Landon beat him in the 200, which is the first time that had happened in a long time. And so, he was not super happy with that. Or was that a True Team? I don't know. I'll get all my meets mixed up, but either way, those 2 guys are right in there, and it just adds fuel to the fire that way. But he's swimming well. He'll be there at section time, and that's we're not too terribly worried about it.
Yeah, Landon got him by 37 hundredths of a second at True Team.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it was yeah, and
it's okay to be pushed like that, isn't it? Though,
it is okay, And then Matthew and Lucas Toole both swam at the IM against each other at the Alec meet, and again, Matthew's not super healthy, but Lucas, I guess, was talking smack to him all week and just about got him, and so that would have been something to see either. And it might be just a matter of time, because Lucas is an IMer and Matthew can do it, but that's not his forte, and so he's gonna get beat by his brother at one point.
He might get a little better if he has to beat his brother.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Yeah,
700ths of a second separating those guys.
Yeah.
So that's smack talk indeed.
Right.
Against Alec, your 200 freestyle relay team had a first place. How do you like the way that team is coming together?
Well, that's not really the normal lineup. I think Jaden was in there, and I think Reese was in there. And some of that is just because of who we had out. And so we, and I knew Alec had a really good 2 free relay, so we tried to stack that as best we can. And I don't know that that's going to be the normal, because if we put Jaden in there, that's one less individual event, because he needs to be in the medley and he needs to be in the 4 free relay. So if he does all 3, then what event do we take him out of, for individual? And that might be something we have to think about, but, it's too early to do that right now. So that is the fastest combo, and they swam their best time of the season at that meet in Alex. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm not positive that that's what it's going to be, but that's okay. Yeah.
Jaden won the 100 breast that night against Alexandria by 5 seconds. Is his time, is that good where he's at right now for him, or?
Yeah, and he's not a breaststroker. I mean, he's been working a lot on it, because he does breaststroke in the IM, so Coach Zozel, former breaststroker, has really been working on some technique stuff with him, and that's coming along. But, we were missing Strandy that day, and so I wanted, you want to go into a meet and having some races that are competitive, and so I moved a bunch of people around, and I knew Jaden has a decent breaststroke, so you want to give their guys a decent race, and so their top breaststroker happened to be out, and so Jaden kind of cruised to a victory, whether, that wouldn't have been nearly as comfortable with their top breaststroker in. But, yeah, it's coming, and that's usually people's weakest stroke in the IM. And so the more he can get that technique down and work on a couple of things, that's his IM time is just going to drop.
It is pretty beneficial to have a meet like that every now and then, where you do get to move kids around and see what they can do.
Yeah, we didn't move everybody. I kind of looked at it as like, all right, you get one of your good events, and then we'll put your a B event for you. Not like like Reese, for example, putting him in the 500 isn't really a B event for him. It's, his 50 freestyle, 100 freestyle would probably be a B event for him. So, he didn't really do that, but really blow things up. But it is really nice to have people move into different things. And, and we have to have guys step up too. We put people in events at True Team and the Alec meet that they haven't really swam before. So, Isaac Rott swam the 500, Riley Anderson swam the 500, I believe, at True Team. Kind of surprised himself. Those are two sophomore boys that are still just growing into their bodies and learning. So, they've done some really nice things, and I got a couple ninth graders that are swimming 200s and 200s IM. So, we challenged them a while back. It's like anybody can swim a 50 free or 100 free. Find something that you can be good at that's an off event, and there's probably a spot for you.
Back to the True Team. What do you and your coaches take from that meet? Like we said, we're midway through the season. Your actual section meet is down the road yet, but what can you look at from that True Team meet and evaluate looking ahead to the section meet and how that lineup might look different?
Yeah, teams generally that's pretty close to what teams will run at sections, give or take a few things. So we kind of know where we're sitting with our top events for sure. So we feel pretty good. Third place as a team is fine, but top three individuals and top 3 relays go to state, and that's ultimately our goal. So we have lots of guys sitting third, lots of guys sitting fourth, and so we're in a really good spot that way. I mean, we have a realistic chance to get someone to state in every event, and the 50 free will be hard, and obviously diving's not going to happen, but otherwise we have legitimate shots to get somebody in the top 3 at the section meet in every one of those other events. So that's something we haven't had. We got a lot of work to do. Certainly not counting on that, but we're in a position to make that happen.
That's fun to
Yeah,
hear.
for sure. Yeah.
So the next few weeks, you're pretty busy. You got 2 duels each week the next 3 weeks, and then you'll be a little closer to seeing the end of the season, the conference, the section coming up. But how do you train over this time period when you've got, Tuesday, Thursday meets?
Yeah, we got Tuesday, Thursday, the next 3 weeks. So some of that was Tech wanted to move theirs from, before Christmas, and then one was a weather with Apollo. So, it is what it is. So we got 3 away and 3 at home. How do we train? We keep going. We're not gonna. Wednesday is gonna be an off day, or more of a recovery day, but we can't, ease into things, on Monday because we got to meet tomorrow. We got way too many things to do, and the section meet is what really matters, and so we have to train through that stuff. And so they'll be sore, they'll be tired, and they're not going to be 100% when they swim in some of those meets. But that is the nature of the deal. And this is kind of the time of season where, besides just health, it's just kind of a, people are just kind of, oh man, we're on week 7 or 8, and we're going to practice again today, and I know the guys, it's cold out, and the guys are like, they're not going to say anything, but you can tell their body language is they're not super excited to be there. And I get that, but we've got those goals, and they know what they are, and so they know it is the good thing to be in the pool today and do that stuff. But we just got to keep pounding. Yep.
All right. Yep. Better get to practice, Coach.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thanks, Randy.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You
Randy Hansen, head coach of the Otter Boys swimming and diving team. Joining us here on the Coaches Show, we'll talk girls basketball. Josh Steer coming up next as we continue here on News Talk 1250 KBRF and streaming live through the Fergus Now app. Company indoor used vehicle sale. No one wants to shop outside in the cold, so today they have moved all the vehicles indoors where you can shop in comfort. All their pre-owned inventory is priced to move and comes with a $300 Minnesota Motor Company gift card. The sale is going on today from 8 until 5. Minnesota Motor. South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Hi, my name is Lori, and I'm the housing manager at Sheraton House in Fergus Falls, Minnesota. If you're 55 or older and looking for a quiet and comfortable apartment with underground parking, meals available for purchase, a flexible month-to-month lease, plus $500 off your first month's rent, give me a call at 218-998-7404 or go to lbhomes.org/Sheridan. I'd love to show you around and see if Sheridan House is right for you.
Quality Toyota is proud to salute the achievements of each quality player. It takes teamwork to compete, and the Quality Player Award recognizes the extra effort by an individual in each athletic contest. Quality Toyota commends the hard work, dedication, and quality efforts of these outstanding youth. That attitude will help each quality player as they go forward. Congratulations to each of the quality players from Quality Toyota on West Lincoln Avenue in Fergus Falls. QualityToyota.net. Let's go places.
At Wheelchairs for Warriors, serving America's heroes is our mission. With your support, we serve veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty across the United States of America, providing them custom-fit, complex rehab mobility solutions to ensure they rejoin their lives at the highest level of independent mobility and function possible. Join the mission at wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your forecast from the KBRF Weather Center. An extreme cold warning begins at 6 p.m. tonight. Overcast skies today with daytime highs approaching 1 below. Northwest winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Partly cloudy tonight, lows dip down to about 17 below. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Tomorrow, highs level off around 7 below. Right now, 6 below.
The big day is here. It's the Minnesota Motor Company Indoor Used Vehicle Sale. No one wants to shop outside in the cold, so today they have moved all the vehicles indoors, where you can shop in comfort. All their pre-owned inventory is priced to move and comes with a $300 Minnesota Motor Company gift card. The sale is going on today from 8 until 5. Minnesota Motor. South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls. Welcome back to the program. Josh Steer is here to talk about his Otter girls basketball team. They are 11-3. Couple of wins this week, and kind of when I look back at the week, Josh, turnovers were the theme here. You created 34, according to the stats I had, when you beat Little Falls, 55-16, and then you survived 20 turnovers yourself down in Wilmer and won 47-37. So turnovers played a role in both, but to give up 53 points in 2 games. Wow, I mean, the defense must be playing well. Now, I'm sure the opponents aren't the top of the line that you've seen this year, but still, to go out and exert the pressure and turn those turnovers into points and hold teams to the point totals you held them to this week has to make you feel good about the defense.
Yeah, you know, I think right now our defense is playing really well. And the Little Falls game, you know, they were 7-5 coming in, and I think they're feeling pretty good about where they were at in the section, being in that kind of that 4-5 spot with DL, and yeah, so I think they're feeling pretty good, and they came in, and I think that we executed the game plan really well. The girls are playing really, really hard on the defensive side. It's really fun to watch because you're really not giving teams much for choices on the offensive side. So we're taking some things away. We're defending really well on the arc, I think. We're mixing in some full court pressure that's given some teams problems, and they're rushed into their offense. So yeah, Little Falls came in, I think, feeling pretty good, and I think they left not feeling so good because we forced a lot of turnovers for them and caused a lot of problems on their offensive side, and they just couldn't get into a rhythm.
Well, and you hit the boards well in both games. Do you like where the rebounding game is at right now? Because you've got a bunch of girls that love to rebound. They all get into the act.
Yeah, you know, right now it's a toss-up between, you know, you got Bryn and Bella kind of battling out for who's the top rebounder, and then you got Hattie mixed in there, and Carly gets in there too, and so it's kind of fun to see who's going to be the top rebounder of the night because you just never know.
Right.
It's a different one every night, and Little Falls, I think Bella Anderson had a heck of a game. You know, she had I think 10 points and 7 boards, so she's finding ways to keep contributing, and she's been doing that kind of all season long in the rebounding category. But it was fun to see her run the floor a little bit and get some runouts. And Bryn found her in the open court a couple times on some nice full court passes, and she finished her on the rim. So it was fun to see. It's fun to see those things pay off. You know, you secure the rebound. We look to rebound and run. That's kind of been the motto of the year, and because we want to score fast. We don't want to have to play half court offense. It's really hard to do. So. And then on the flip side, And when you're talking about turnovers, we forced a lot of turnovers on Tuesday night with Little Falls at home, but and that transitions into your offense and points and some advantage in the full court. But you know, and then when you go to Wilmer and you turn the ball over a few too many times, you give them those same opportunities, and that can put you behind the 8 ball a little bit. But you know, I feel like right now we're playing really, really well on the defensive side.
Where did Wilmer have success in not stopping, but slowing down your offense? Because it seemed like, you know, it was a struggle.
It really was, and they're long, and they're athletic, and they're physical on the bottom, and they sit in a 3-2 zone, and they don't ball pressure. They just sit in passing lanes and say, okay, you throw it over the top of me, and the girl behind me is going to come over and get a hand on it, or a deflection or a steal or something. So they kind of make life miserable for you. And you know, every time we've played them the last 4 times, they've kind of sat in that zone, and we've played kind of, I'll call them, I don't know what I should call them, if it's a pillow fight or if it's a rock fight or what, but you know, it's been 40s to 30s, it's been 50s to 40s, so it's been low scoring affairs. And when it comes down to those kinds of games, you know, those turnovers matter, the rebounding battle matters. Those things are just the margin for error gets really, really small. And you know, we overcame that by how we played defensively, because when you hold a team in the 30s, you give yourself a pretty good chance to win.
I would hope so. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you should be able to score 40. So me and Nick were talking on the pregame show. You know, we thought it was a race to 50 to 55, and I'm kind of like, well, 50. If somebody touches 50, I think they'll be sitting pretty good. So, and nobody got there.
No, the winner was 47.
Yeah.
So Ruby had 15. Ruby Ellison, she's capable of, well, we've seen her get into the mid-20s, even point-wise. So she was your leader offensively, but I loved Bryn Sternberg's line that night. Bryn's, you know, in last year, I mean, if Bryn didn't score 20 points, you were in trouble. You know, that's not the case this year. You've got distribution of points. But Bryn's line, 10 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 steals. That's the stuff in the stat sheet thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's gone from, you know, she's been a starter for 4 years. She played on the 2022 team that made the state tournament, and she was a role player on that one. So she was just, maybe she'd get a couple shots a game. She defended, and she played a role, and then that role evolved the next couple of years to, you have to score for us, and if you're not scoring for us, we're going to be in trouble. And now she's kind of evolved into a complete basketball player, in my opinion. She defends really, really well, gets a lot of deflections. She gets a lot of rebounds for us, and now she's really seeing the floor in a way that I haven't seen out of her, which has been really fun to see as she evolves as a player to become a complete basketball player. So her stat line, you know, she's only averaging 15 points a game, right? That's how we view Bryn. So, but yeah, you know, she gets close to that double-double. She was a couple assists and a rebound away from a triple-double, which is an impressive feat. But so she's right there, and she's doing all the things for us. Kind of, she's kind of that spark plug that, and she pushes the pace for us, which is what we want. So it's been really fun to see her evolve as a basketball player over the last 4 years.
Yeah, she's a tough defender for sure.
Yeah, you know, she's got some length to her. You know, I feel like she's just kept stretching out over the years, and that's a huge part of our defense. Is I think we're getting 14 deflections a game, and I think we're getting close to about 12 to 13 steals a game. So those things translate into the little things that make winning plays, and you can finish out some games with those kinds of plays.
There are a lot of things that drive coaches nuts, I know. But one of the things that may be the most frustrating over the course of 26 games or whatever it is free throw shooting. I mean, some nights you'll go 5 for 25 and you go, what in the world? And then the next night you're making 21 out of 25. It's like, we didn't do anything different. Here you were in Wilmer, a tough place to play. You only scored 47, but you made 9 of 11 free throws. Good thing you made your free throws that night.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the difference. That can be the difference in the game.
Yeah.
When you talk about the margin for error being really small especially against good teams, you know, that's a huge one. Rebounding, assists, and turnovers are big ones. Or turnovers and rebounds are huge ones. But yeah, sometimes you kind of overlook those little things of free throws, which are free. You know, you think it's a free shot. How can we not make a free shot? You know, it's a big mental piece, I think. And physically, you know, girls are tired. They're playing lots of minutes, but yeah, you're kind of like, gosh darn, how can we not be, making 70% from the free throw line? And, some nights it's great and some nights it's not so great. And lucky for us, or fortunate enough for us that on Thursday night that they were going in.
Yeah, I always wonder, knowing what you know about free throws and how they can vary from game to game, how much time do you budget in your practice for free throw shooting? Because it seems, you have a good free throw shooting night. Okay, great. We don't want to overdo it at practice.
Why break something if it isn't,
Right.
or why fix something if it's not broke?
And if you have a bad free throw shooting night, you go to the line more the next day, and then the next game it doesn't help. So that's got to be a tough thing to.
Yeah, I feel like last year we shot free throws really, really well, and we didn't put a very high emphasis on them in practice. And this year I feel like now we've started to, and you mix those things in, like at the end of a session where the girls have been going up and down a little bit, so they're tired.
Right.
Because you want them to shoot free throws when they're tired. You want them to shoot when they're tired. You want them to do skill-related basketball activities when they're tired. Yep. Because in the course of a 36-minute game, they get really tired. Mm-hmm. And our depth isn't huge right now. But yeah, you mix those things in and you try to get those things cleaned up when the girls' legs are tired and maybe their minds are a little bit shot and you get those things you try to clean up those things. Yep.
That creates real game situations when your leg's tired and your mind's tired, because if you're going to shoot free throws that matter, it's going to be at the end of the game when you don't have a lot left in the tank. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The Central Lakes Conference and the section. Talk about the where the Otters are sitting right now. Of course, Alexandria is in the conference. They're certainly conference favorites, I'm sure, and section-wise as well. But did the Otters with this week put themselves in a pretty comfortable position as far as looking ahead to seedings? I know we've got a ways to go there, but how do you view that right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of basketball to be played, but we're halfway through the season, and we've played, well, outside of Corey, we've played everybody in the conference once. We've seen everybody in the section now once. So, minus Corey, but so we're kind of getting the feel for how things are going to play out a little bit. If you take care of business and do what you're supposed to do, yeah, I think we put ourselves in a really good spot for the number 2 seed for sure. If we get Alexandria at home, we can put ourselves maybe in a spot for the 1 seed, but we'll see how that shakes out. And we got Wilmer again coming to town at the very end of the season, and that one could have had huge implications if we would have maybe gone down there and taken a loss, but going down there and getting a win on the road was huge for us in the section. Conference-wise, it's a big one too, and conference comes into play too with the tiebreaker margins and things like that. So your conference record actually really matters if things get tight in the QRF race at the end of the season. But yeah, by beating Wilmer, we've kind of put ourselves in the driver's seat for the 2 spot for sure, and kind of I think put Wilmer down at the 3 spot for the way that it looks right now. So,
sure.
but a lot of things can change, and right. It's a long season, so a lot of basketball yet to be played.
Including Monday night at home against Perham, a makeup game, and then Tuesday on the road at DL. Those back-to-back games can be a challenge, but finding a makeup date isn't always easy, so you got to take a date when it's there. And what about your opponents this week?
Yeah, Perham's tough. I think they're starting to figure some things out. They just beat Breckenridge the other night. Breckenridge is good. They just beat DL, I think, last night. So they're starting to play a little bit better. I think they're getting healthy. Coach Super is going to have something up his sleeve, I'm sure, when he comes to the Gold Gym. Well-coached team. So I think we'll have our hands full, defensively. I don't know what they're going to come out in. They play some man, they play some 2-3. They've started showing some 3-2 zone on film too. So, and who knows? Sometimes they throw something crazy at you too. So, kind of have to be prepared for everything in the kitchen sink on that one, which I'm not too worried about. I think our girls are prepared. They've seen it all by now anyway. And then Tuesday going to DL. The first time we saw DL at the Christmas tournament, they weren't 100%. They were missing their point guard. So we forced a lot of turnovers and held them to a low score there. So I expect that one to be a little bit tighter of a match, a little bit closer. But I think our pressure can still cause some problems in both games. And we're going to look to push the pace. We're going to look to rebound the basketball. And we still got to do a better job of cleaning up our turnovers.
All right. Very good, Josh. 11-3, the Otter girls basketball team. Thanks for coming in, braving the cold weather.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Craig. Appreciate
and
it.
big tournament, girls.
Girls,
backcourt
yeah,
today.
you know what? If you want to brave the cold and come out and watch some girls basketball, the Gold Gym, Roosevelt, and Cleveland are all going to be packed full of excited kids, and they would love to see some smiling fans in the stands.
Awesome. Josh Sear, head coach of the Otter girls basketball team. Back with more on our Coaches Show here on Newstalk 1250 KBRF and streaming live through the Fergus Now app.
Looking for a resource to help keep your resolutions for health and wellness on track? Visit unveiledlocal.com. This month in Healthy Living, learn about plant power and unlock the health benefits of indoor plants. Educate yourself about the benefits of cold water therapy. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, read on to discover the benefits of a mind detox through taking a social media break. We aim to inspire and guide individuals toward a balanced and fulfilling lifestyle. Visit unveiledlocal.com today for resources to make 2025 your healthiest year yet.
This month, play your favorite games at Dakota Magic Casino, and you could be part of 4 spins, 1 jackpot. When you play, you'll earn entries into a drawing that'll happen on Saturday, January 25th. Starting at 1 o'clock, 4 lucky winners will be drawn every half an hour. Each winner will spin the wheel, and the amounts will be added together to win free play and or cash. And at 10 p.m., one of the spins can be worth $5,000 in cash. More details at dakotamagic.com. Entity of the Dakota Nation Gaming Enterprise.
You're invited to Bingo in Brandon coming up Sunday, February 2nd at 1:30. The bingo will take place at St. Anne's Catholic Church in Brandon, and it starts at 1:30. Raffle winners will be drawn over $2,000 in cash prizes, and each bingo prize will be at least $20. Proceeds are used for pro-life. That's Sunday, February 2nd at 1:30. It's bingo at St. Anne's Catholic Church in Brandon.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls has a fantastic starting lineup with America's 3 favorite truck brands, Ford, Ram, and GMC. Nelson Auto can help you enjoy your time out on the road. Check out our starting lineup at Nelson Auto Center, Fergus Falls.
High-quality local embroidery for your community. Running Stitches is the choice for everything, from business logos to team apparel and personal projects. They bring your designs to life. Andrew and Allison Olson from Running Stitches Embroidery are proud supporters of local sports.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Saturday morning, 8 to 9:30 during the winter sports season here. We are talking sports with Fergus Falls and Hillcrest coaches today. We've also include area coaches at times, depending on schedules. Everybody's so busy this time of year. And Adam Schlepp is in today to talk Otter wrestling. And we want to talk milestones, Adam. I want to recognize some kids who have really accomplished a lot, not only this year, but in their wrestling careers. And we're talking about Caleb Froning and Cass Hartwell, who both reached significant numbers of career wins. Tell us about that.
Yeah, early in the season, Cass Hartwell hit 75th career victory. And just a couple weeks ago, Caleb Froning hit his 125th career victory. So pretty special moments for both those wrestlers and their families.
You know, that prompted me to ask you the question, what's the all-time record for wins for an Otter?
Right now, Abbott-Aho owns that record with 188 career wins. So,
wow.
Yeah, no, it's he set the mark high. Since Abbott's time, our match count has increased.
Oh, sure.
When Abbott was wrestling, the match count limit was 36 matches going into the postseason. Now wrestlers are at 45 going into the postseason. So, over 6 years, that can add up to, potentially, 50 more wins or so, roughly.
Sure, yeah. So Caleb isn't done yet, I know. And
yep.
Talk about those two wrestlers, the styles that they bring out on the mat with them.
Caleb's very aggressive. He's very technical. He's been wrestling. When he was younger, he was wrestling year-round and wrestled on big stage and some national tournaments and stuff. So he's a great deal of experience, and he's a little bit more physical, a little bit more aggressive, towards his opponents on the mat. In terms of offensive styles, both very aggressive offensively, Cassis has a little bit different style. Cass is a little bit more of a scramble wrestler. Whenever Cass finds himself in a scramble position, a lot of times he ends up on top. And we're trying to sometimes create those scrambles. Cass also does some good counter stuff. He's a great counter wrestler. There's times where Cass is trying to bait an opponent in on his leg or different things that he's looking to kind of capitalize on some counter moves.
And Cass is at 133 and Caleb at 160 right now. How's the depth at different weight classes? Are there some weights that you are really struggling to fill right now, or what would you say about that?
You know, I think the biggest thing is trying to get healthy. If we get healthy, we can fill all the weights.
Okay.
And with, varsity experienced kids, the biggest thing is we have only had 4 duels this year. We've only had 4 team meets so far this year. It's been a lot of individual tournament stuff. These next few weeks, we'll do a lot more team stuff. And hopefully, even this last week, we were very sick. When we were at Alec and wrestling Ricori and Alexandria, we had 4 or 5 holes in the lineup. We've got bodies that we could put out there, but when we're wrestling at the CLC, we're wrestling against juniors and seniors at most weights. Even at 107 and 113, you're looking at 9th, 10th, 11th grade kids, and I'm just not going to put a 7th or 8th grader out there. In the right situation, we could capitalize on some younger help or support. But a lot of our depth is pretty young. So if our varsity starters are out or sick, it gets pretty hard to fill those spots.
What is a breakdown grade-wise?
Yeah, we're very young. We have 36 kids in the room this year. 2 of those kids are seniors. 1 of those kids is a junior.
Wow, that is young.
Yep.
That may be as young as you've ever had as a team, isn't it?
And a lot of this group has been wrestling varsity for 2 years. So it'll be fun to see in a couple of years what that looks like and how that pays off. But yeah, no, we're very young this year.
Who are your captains? Who's leading the team?
Cass Hartwell, who we mentioned, Caleb Froning, who we mentioned, and then our junior Jacob Froning, Caleb's cousin, is also a captain this year.
Okay, and I know looking back, you had the Terry Tyken Invitational in Lake Park a couple of weeks, 10 days ago, whatever, 8 days ago. And you had some guys place in the top 6 there. If we can just highlight some of them, I know we already talked about 2 of them with Caleb and Cass, but there were some other good finishes there for you, including 4th place finish for Jacob Froning, and another, I think there's another 4th or a 5th for Levi Budke. So, what's the difference, Adam, between getting your mindset for a full day tournament like that and the multiple matches? Some guys probably respond well to that, where others are more in tune to okay, I'm going to focus on one match in this duel.
Yep. I think there's the biggest difference is, when you're in a tournament, you're kind of preparing for that grind. It's usually a pretty early start. We're usually weighing in by 8:30, which means we're on a bus by 6:30, and then we wait around for an hour and a half before wrestling starts. And kids' first match can be at 10 or 11 a.m., and their last match can be at 6 p.m. So there is a lot of management in between matches. We kind of call it warming up and getting yourself prepared or getting locked in. You have to, there's some highs and lows with the tournament. And so, maybe you lose in the semifinals or you get upset in the first round. There's still a lot of wrestling to do. So you got to, take a moment, take whatever time you need to kind of get your mind right. And then you got to get focused on your next match. And I think that teaches some resiliency. I think it teaches our athletes that, even though things didn't go our way this match, I can still accomplish a lot today. And we really focus on trying to finish strong. We want to finish the day right. Obviously, we want to start strong as well, but finishing our day in those last matches are crucial. I think of Levi Budke at 121. He had a pretty stacked bracket in his 3rd place match. I think it was 3rd. Or no, maybe it was 5th. I can't even remember.
5th,
Sorry. In his 5th place match, he was wrestling, Hazen Milbeck from Pelican, a senior, and as a sophomore, it was a really impressive win for Levi in that 5th place match. And that's exactly how we want to end a day like that, with a big win over a senior. And Yeah, no, that's
15-12. That must have been quite a match.
It was. No, it was and it came down to the very end. It was tied with less than a minute left, and Levi pushed through and showed that his conditioning was where it needed to be, because he was able to secure that takedown right at the end to lock that match up. It's a big win for him.
Rorik Hage at 107.
Yeah,
had a 4th place finish for you.
Yep.
There.
No, that was a great day for Rorik. He had a great tournament. He's really been coming on strong. A little bit of a slow start to the start of the year, but he also faced some pretty fierce competition at the start of the year. Several ranked wrestlers. But as pretty much after Christmas break here, he's really kicked it up a notch. He's really looking good in the practice room and on the mat.
How about the upper weights? Do you have some depth there?
Yeah, we've actually got 4 heavyweights in the room right now. Nolan Field is, he's another one. He's wrestled some fierce competition at heavyweight this year. Nolan qualified for, the Minnesota freestyle Greco team. He traveled all the way to Utah this summer and wrestled a bunch of freestyle matches for Team Minnesota and a bunch of Greco matches for Team Minnesota, and represented Fergus Falls and Minnesota very well there. And we're expecting him to come out the gates, and have a hot start. And we wrestled Jake Leeser from Fertile Beltrami 3 times in our first 7 or 8 matches, like ranked number 4 in the state, and close matches too, and Nolan kind of improved each time, but we just couldn't beat Jake. And I'd like to, it won't happen, but it'd be really fun to see at the end of this year if we could, if that match would happen again, because Nolan's just improving so much every day.
He got a win at Alexandria for you.
Yeah, he did. Yep. And he 2. He beat the Rocori heavyweight, and he beat the Alexandria heavyweight, and he's putting himself in a good position for all conference. And I think the goal, I know Nolan's goal is to make the state tournament this year. Along with Caleb and Cass and a few other guys, that's the goal. And so we're trying to grind every day and trying to improve every day. And we've got a coaching staff this year with 5 coaches in the room. That really helps. We're able to get everybody's needs met. We got some small guys, some big guys. We got guys from Fergus. We got guys from out of Fergus. So it's a great blend. I'm really pleased with our coaching staff this year. It's really helped us improve.
You had 3 matches 3 dates this week, more matches than that.
Yeah.
But you got to be well conditioned for that. Do you feel that's a strength of this team? Are you a pretty well conditioned team?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, they work hard, and we've been working them very hard. Today, this is our first weekend off pretty much all season.
Yeah.
And even through the holidays, with the holidays landing in the middle of the week, we've been wrestling on those Saturdays over Christmas break and stuff. And we had 3 straight practices this week, and I told them coming down the stretch, we're not going to have 3 straight practices in a row, because it's pretty much competition every other day from here on out. And we're also not going to get 2.5 days of rest. And I said that we need to use that time very wisely, and I feel like they did. We emptied the gas tank yesterday, and everybody left pretty tired. And I stressed getting a workout at home Saturday and Sunday, and we'll be back at it Monday, and then ready for Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah, wow. Every other day. All right.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to the Otters down the stretch, Adam. And thanks for coming in and talking about your kids, and we'll hopefully do this again around tournament time.
Awesome.
All right,
Sounds
Adam
great.
Schlepp, head coach of the Otter wrestling team. We'll take a break. We're going to shift gears, talk Hillcrest boys basketball with Donovan Rognes on the other side of the break. You are listening to the Coaches Show on News Talk 1250 KBRF and live video streaming through the Fergus Now app.
News, weather, sports, and farm information. News Talk 1250 AM KBRF Fergus Falls. Depend on it.
The big day is here. It's the Minnesota Motor Company Indoor Used Vehicle Sale. No one wants to shop outside in the cold, so today they have moved all the vehicles indoors, where you can shop in comfort. All their pre-owned inventory is priced to move and comes with a $300 Minnesota Motor Company gift card. The sale is going on today from 8 until 5. Minnesota Motor. South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Kathy Zimmerman. When we walked into Cornerstone Cabinets and Countertops, we were immediately drawn to the beautiful kitchen displays. We just knew this was the place to design our new kitchen. Bonnie and Lisa guided us every step of the way. When it came time for installation, Wayne and his team were spot on. Now we have the kitchen of our dreams.
Cornerstone Cabinets and Countertops, Fergus Falls, where your vision comes to life.
As we move into the new year, Lakeland Mental Health Center encourages you to take a moment each day to reflect on your own mental health needs. If you're experiencing symptoms of depression, anxiety, or any other condition, it's time to make a call to LMHC for help. They've been serving the area for over 75 years. For more information about the services provided by LMHC, visit lmhc.org, with offices available in Alexandria, Detroit Lakes, Fergus Falls, Glenwood, and Moorhead. LMHC is here today to help for a better tomorrow.
Alan Haugrud, attorney at law, has been successfully helping clients in the Fergus Falls and Ottertail County area for over 30 years. Alan Haugrud specializes in family law, estate planning, business law, general practice, and bankruptcy. When you need an experienced attorney to handle your concerns, contact Alan Haugrud for a free initial consultation today. 998-4299. Alan Haugrud, attorney at law, 121 East Lincoln Avenue, downtown Fergus Falls.
Looking for a resource to help keep your resolutions for health and wellness on track? Visit unveiledlocal.com. This month in Healthy Living, learn about plant power and unlock the health benefits of indoor plants. Educate yourself about the benefits of cold water therapy. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, read on to discover the benefits of a mind detox through taking a social media break. We aim to inspire and guide individuals toward a balanced and fulfilling lifestyle. Visit unveiledlocal.com today for resources to make 2025 your healthiest year yet.
Welcome back to the program. Donovan Rogness is here, Hillcrest boys basketball coach, and we're going to talk Comets. And I thought we were going to talk about a game from last night against Rothsay, but it was postponed. The weather did affect a few things, not a lot, but the Rothsay game has been rescheduled for Monday, February 3rd. And we were just talking, Donovan, there are some weeks ahead where you've got like 3 games in a week, you know, which kind of makes it challenging practice-wise.
Yeah, you don't get nearly enough practice time to work on some skill stuff and some game situation stuff. So then you just got to figure it out in the game. And you got to take those opportunities to teach a lot more.
I think players don't mind that, the 3 games in a week, right? More than the coaches. You'd like time to work on things, but the players, they want to play games.
Yeah, for sure. We were just chatting about that before it came on the air. Is that you know, back when I was in high school, we had much less games, and I remember multiple times in January where we would have 4 practices in a week, and that's hard to get up for every day, you know, as a teenager. So they definitely like to get out and play games. It's way more fun.
You know, Park Christian was here last Saturday for a girl-boy doubleheader, I believe, at Hillcrest. And you've developed quite a friendly rivalry and a competitive rivalry with Park Christian, a private school in Moorhead. And you had a good battle with them last Saturday.
Yeah, you know, that's probably the highlight of our year. And the reason being is that when Hillcrest graduates, people, a lot of them migrate to the Fargo-Moorhead area. And then when they stay in that community, you see a lot of their kids starting to go to Hillcrest. And so there's a really fun connection that happens between Park and Hillcrest right now as that school is continuing to grow. And so we have a lot of fun with that. So Brendan Geese is the head boys basketball coach there. You know, he's a Fergus Falls boy. So
former Otter,
former Otter, and grew up with him. And so it's fun when we get to coach each other. We get to chat about old times. And he made some comment. He's like, man, Donovan, you got these guys playing just like you used to play back in the day, right? So you just have that long history there. So it's really fun with Park.
Well, and, you know, you're so familiar with your conference teams. You see them home and home, and it's fun to play somebody different who's competitive and plays a different schedule than you do.
Yeah, Park's got a really competitive team. They're very athletic, and they're long. And so we were really looking forward to that battle, and our guys rose to that really well. We matched their intensity. I know at one point they're ranked in state. I'm not sure if they still are. I haven't seen recent polls, but they play really well. Brendan's got them playing well, and for us to keep up with them that entire game, we came away with a loss, but we came away with a lot of success building points that we're proud of.
What did you like about the performance that day? Where did you say, hey, we really, you know, rose in this part of the game?
Yeah, so one of our boulders, so teams have like pillars and boulder, we call them boulders, and our team is never outworked, and that's one of ours. And
and our guys just battled. Like we didn't. If we went on a little skid during that game, it was because the buckets weren't falling. It wasn't because of our lack of intensity. It wasn't for laps of whatever. It was we were working hard, and that is the biggest takeaway. Is that when we play hard at the end of the game, I think teams are saying, "Man, we didn't expect this today. You guys came out to play," and that we take a lot of credit in that.
How deep are you going right now? How confident are you in going to the bench and getting production?
We're running pretty consistent at 7 deep, but our 8 and 9, we love to get them on the floor too, and we don't feel like it's a major disadvantage to us. There's just a little bit of a gap there, but not a huge one, and that's all we have on our roster. Our 10th man got injured, so he's out for a while, and so we're just running with 9, and when we have one person sick, we have 8 people in the book.
Wow!
So we just got to make sure not to foul.
What are the numbers like down below with your B, and do you have a C squad, a junior high?
Yeah, we got decent numbers, for our size school, so we're happy with that. I just kind of have that theory a little bit of keeping guys with their peers.
Sure.
It's really good growth for them when they're playing with their guys and not jumping up a level necessarily and feeling a little out of place. I recognize the challenge that people have when they step up, and that's good for them. But I think it's also good for them to have camaraderie with their teammates. So we have some guys that we definitely could pull up if we needed more numbers, and we'll pull them up soon here just to get some more experience on the varsity. But we like them playing with their guys.
Parker's Prairie Tuesday night came to town. You were up 9 at halftime, and then, I don't know, you kicked it into high gear in the second half. What kind of turned that game in your favor?
Yeah, I would say that, I just mentioned that Boulder have never outworked, and we decided that we weren't going to play super well our first half. And I shouldn't say that. It was like our intensity wasn't there. Our fundamentals and stuff was there, but just our effort wasn't there. We played pretty poorly. So it's one of those things where you just got to talk about it at halftime and be like, here's the situation. You guys are on this road to become a better team. And the way you're playing, you're beating yourself right now. And you need to get better at that. So we talked about that, and the guys bought into that. And second half, they came out and they performed much better.
Yeah, balanced offensive attack. The Berge boys were leading you there, and a good effort by Sam Nash, or by
Lincoln.
Not by Sam.
Yep.
No,
Lincoln.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure
Sam Nash would have loved to have those points, but that's his dad.
Yeah, but Lincoln. I do that a lot these days, Donovan.
Oh, come on, I get it.
I got dad still playing. They're like, huh?
Yeah.
Did you really say that? Yeah. Anyway, the balance was there. And where are you getting your points on the floor? Are you a team that's been aggressive driving to the basket? Are you a three-point shooting team? Where are you most productive in the offensive end?
Yeah, I think our DNA with our guys is get to the hoop. They like to drive, and if we get an inside-out kick for a 3, we like that too. But yeah, we're go at them. We got some good shooters, but we're not building our team on the 3 ball. Actually, we're building it on getting to the paint. And one thing I really like about our team is that we have a lot of guys that can score. If you go back and look at our scorebook, it's not 2 or 3 guys at the high score every time. We've had as many as 6, maybe 7 guys that have led the team in scoring. So we have a very balanced team. So if a team's looking to shut down 1 or 2 players and they do successfully, we have other guys that are willing to score. And our growth in that is a lot of fun to watch that happen.
Well, and when you have the philosophy of driving to the hoop, you get to the free throw line, and just the 3 guys I mentioned with Preston and Sean and Lincoln, they got to the line 15 times in that game and made 12 of the free throws. Is this something that's happening regularly, where you're a good free throw shooting team when you get to the line?
We go in spurts.
Yeah, like everybody, right?
Yeah, like everybody. I like it when we perform like this. This is a lot more fun. But we definitely have our games where we shoot poorly from the line. And high school boys, like there's lots of fluctuations in their life, whether they had a test that day or didn't sleep that night, or just it's life plays into a lot. So if we have a bad free throw shooting day, I don't chalk it up too much, because I think pretty good in practice we're consistent and we're shooting well. And so yeah, that's our goal. If we can get to the line and cause some foul trouble, and that's good for us, obviously.
How good is this team at distributing the ball, getting the ball to the open player?
Oh man, we have I have actually had to tell our team to stop passing a little bit. Like, that's pretty rare, but our guys are super unselfish, and they understand that team is going to win. That me versus we mentality. They got the we down, and I love that about our guys. But at times, part of being a good teammate is shooting the open shot when you're open, not looking for that one more pass. And so our guys are great. They are super fun to coach. They work hard and they pass the ball, and it's a lot of fun.
After getting the 9-point lead at halftime, you outscored Parker's 38-16 in the second half. So obviously you were doing some things well defensively throughout that game as well. What's been your main defense? So you're basically a man-to-man team, or do you throw some zone in there?
Yeah, we rely on our man. So we're a full court, look to pressure, look to find trap opportunities, and our goal is just to kind of wear other guards down by the end of the game. We understand that the first half might be a 9-point lead, but we're really hoping that with our depth at guard position and our ability to press the basketball, and we wear them down, and then we can make our separation. You know, I say the fourth quarter, but there's no such thing as fourth quarters anymore, right? The second half of the second half is a little harder to say, but yeah.
Okay. So you're back into more conference play this week. You get to host Underwood on Tuesday, and then to Battle Lake on Friday. Underwood is a team that right now is playing really good basketball. I think they've won 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Kellen's got a very nice blend of athletes on that team.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that matchup. You know, I haven't done a whole lot of looking to that because as of last night, I was kind of focusing on Rothsay a little bit more. But yeah, with Kellen's got on a 5-game winning streak, and they're playing good. They got good guard play. So do we. So we're excited for that matchup. And I haven't, studied them too much. We'll look into them, but it's gonna be a fun one for sure.
Oh, I think that guard matchup is going to be a pretty exciting one for sure. And then Battle Lake on Friday. Battle's had some struggles this year.
Yeah, Battle's they're not winning very many games. But I know that they're a hardworking team, and a lot of their losses aren't like blowouts. Some are bigger than others, but they can play basketball. So I never want our guys to ever overlook an opponent, right? Like you always got to take if a team has average 3-point shooters and then they're on for a night, like you're in trouble. Like the 3-point ball can really change momentum in a game and put you on your heels and make you second guess something. So I would never overlook a Battle Lake. We're gonna gear up and look at them just like we look at any other team and get ready.
I know Randy Misagatis at Henning had a matchup with them last night. We had it on the radio. Bob Roars was over there, and Randy emailed me with his results last night and said, this was a tough one, boy. Battle came and gave us a real test here. And you're going to get that in the Little Lake Conference, I think.
Yeah, and and maybe it's just me speaking, and maybe every coach feels this way, but I just really feel like teams really rise to the occasion when they play us.
Sure.
They always play their best basketball. I mean, historically, I feel like Brand Evansville's just always just pushed us to our limits, like consistently. And so other teams do that too. And so, yeah, that's our mentality for Battle Lake, is be ready to play.
So who do you circle on your calendar? Who's the team that you're going to play our best?
Right. So I circle the next game on our calendar. Is that the politically correct answer?
That
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
It's a coach answer.
But for sure it is, because if I start overlooking our players start to feel that I'm overlooking teams, like that's not a good leader. And so I never want to be able to show that. I know where you're getting at there, and I'm just giving you a hard time back.
And I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, right.
Well, it'll be fun. Two Little Lake Conference games, and now we're getting to that point where you're starting to kind of see the tournament coming.
Yeah.
You know, mid-January is always tough, but we turn the page. I think the next 2 weeks, all of a sudden, you're in that playoff thought mind. You know, so yeah, there's a lot to play for right now. Keep everybody healthy and just keep building, right?
So that's exactly right. We have, I think I mentioned this 2 weeks ago when I was in there. We have a team that's very different than last year, and we're finding our identity, and it's super fun to watch that. You're watching the guys rise up. You're watching the guys who's vocal this year to their teammates, where they were very quiet last year.
Right.
And that growth is very fun. So when you say who I got circled, I'm excited for Pelican. Pelican's playing really good basketball. We play them a week from Monday. We're going to focus on our 2 games next week, and then we got a good battle with Pelican. So we're looking forward to that one.
I love the strong non-conference opponents you have on your schedule, like Park Christian last week and Pelican next week.
Yeah, and what I love about it too is that my goal is to get our guys better, right? I love that we have matchups that are tough for us. I'd rather go in the playoffs with 6 losses and lost to 6 tough teams than going with 2 losses and had 2 bad games against 2 bad teams. Like
exactly.
The competition makes us better, and we're happy for it.
No doubt about it. Donovan, thanks for coming in, talking about the 7-4 Comets. Have a fun week.
All right. Thank you very much, Craig.
All right. Donovan Rognes, head coach of the Hillcrest boys basketball team. We are going to talk hockey next. Girls hockey. Tim Lill is here. Boy, they've been busy, and the end of their season is coming fast. And Tim will join us after the break here on News Talk 1250 KBRF and streaming live through the Fergus Now app.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls has a fantastic starting lineup with America's 3 favorite truck brands, Ford, Ram, and GMC. Nelson Auto can help you enjoy your time out on the road. Check out our starting lineup at Nelson Auto Center, Fergus Falls.
CPAs that are certified to win. Smith and Sam. Smith and Sam Limited.
When you're on a trip and you're not sure how to navigate towards your destination, chances are you use a GPS. And when it comes to accounting, think of Smith & Sem as your GPS for bookkeeping. Smith & Sem will always guide you through the best path for your business needs. Smith & Sem, your numbers team, Fergus Falls.
When addiction takes hold, it's easy to feel like no one can help. But you're not in this alone. For 75 years, Hazelden Betty Ford has been at the forefront of addiction and mental health care, evolving treatment, reimagining recovery, and breaking through barriers to help families everywhere find healing. So please reach out at 855-489-2383. Help is here. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation and aired by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
Marlis Winkles talks about Cornerstone cabinets and countertops.
From the moment my husband and I stepped into their room, we were warmly welcomed, and I knew I wanted to work with Bonnie and Lisa to make my dream kitchen a reality. They made helpful suggestions, and Bonnie even came to my house, which was amazing to me, to see the furniture pieces I wanted to incorporate in my design. So I couldn't be more satisfied, and I would tell anybody to choose Cornerstone cabinets to do their kitchen.
Cornerstone cabinets and countertops, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
The big day is here. It's the Minnesota Motor Company Indoor Used Vehicle Sale. No one wants to shop outside in the cold, so today they have moved all the vehicles indoors, where you can shop in comfort. All their pre-owned inventory is priced to move and comes with a $300 Minnesota Motor Company gift card. The sale is going on today from 8 until 5. South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
At American Federal Bank, they believe in the power of teamwork, dedication, and supporting future champions. That's why they're proud supporters of local high school athletics. From Friday night lights to buzzer-beating shots, these student athletes inspire us all. Just like them, American Federal Bank is here to go the extra mile for you. Whether it's a savings account, loan, or helping you score your financial goals, let's cheer on the young athletes together. American Federal Bank, investing in the community, one play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to the program. Otter Girls Hockey on the agenda here, and more Otter Girls Hockey today, 3 o'clock at the Community Arena. Bemidji will be in town, and Mark Johnson will be there to call the action on 977 FM, AM 1020, and video streaming through the Fergus Now app as well. So big coverage of that one today. Tim Lill is here, the head coach of the Otters. They had a 3-0 win at Wilmer earlier this week on Tuesday night, and then last night lost to East Grand Forks 6-2 at home. Tim, we're going to go to Tuesday first. And the big news is you got Lydia Johnson back. And how good is that to get her back on the lineup?
Yeah, she has the talent, the physical skills, coming back from how many games she missed, 18, 20, whatever the case is. It takes a little while for a kid to mentally get back into the game where she's not going to be at top form, and a competitor doesn't like to be, not at top form. Mm-hmm. So we gotta slowly get into that, and she's gonna not only just make some mistakes, but her foot speed and everything else has got to come around, and when we work through that, I would expect in a couple, 2-3 games, she'll be back up to speed, and it'll be quite an asset.
So now you can move players back to where they're most comfortable and where you like to have combinations together.
Yeah, I think, she's back at defense, and this year Rachel DeBrito went back to the blue line and has played absolutely stellar. But as a team player, she was more than willing to come up and play wing for a little more offensive punch. And, she's great with her stick and her speed, and, that's going to start showing on the score sheet. But it sure has helped us get out of our end. Just keep an eye on her. I think she's going to break out here.
Well, let's talk about the goaltending in Wilmer because Mia Olson stopped every shot she faced, and of course, goalie is the last line of defense, but you've got to have good play out in front too. How do you feel overall about the way you're playing, or the way you played that night anyway, in your defensive zone?
It was really good. We didn't give them. The only time they really had any scoring chances was on the power play, which was I don't know 6 or 7 times.
Yeah,
we got to stay out of the box, but. She did her job there. They had some quality chances, and she shut them down and killed the penalty, and then we could go on, and we spent a lot of time in the offensive zone and got a couple past Eilers, which is something. She's been really good this year. She's about 5'9", 5'10", and quick, so she covers a lot of net, and we got a couple by her, and that's all it took.
Yeah, he outshot him 32-20. That's kind of been, the story here. Last night you outshot East Grand. What was it, 40-26?
Sure, I believe you.
Yeah, you're dominating the puck time and getting great scoring opportunities most of the time when you have the puck in the offensive end. So that's good because if you get more shots, in theory, you'll score more goals, right?
What a great theory. Yeah, yeah.
It's proven wrong sometimes, but more on that in a minute. But in Wilmer, we've talked about Hannah Johnson and how she's just such a spark plug, and she got 2 goals for you. She just finds a way to make it happen, and it's hard work.
That's it. It's one more step. It's finishing your shift when she's tired, and she gets that stick. It's so important to break up these plays. The puck goes back in the offensive zone. We can get a change. It's something a coach watches and appreciates so much. And you do that enough times, and you're going to get paid for that. And that's what's happening is she's working her tail off and creating turnovers and then taking it to the net and scoring the goals we need.
Well, she reached a milestone recently, too. Got her 100th career point.
Yeah. That was a couple games ago. I don't know. This season is such a blur, Craig, as all of them, but we were all really excited for that. She deserved that, and it was quite a celebration.
Yeah, I mean, we could go through the list. It's not a long list, for Otter girls hockey players with 100 points or more, but it's a pretty impressive one. So,
and it is because, the schedule, it's hard to get points playing good teams. You look at a lot of these scorers that are in, the state-ranked scorers, and but they're beating teams 8-10, 12-0, and that's of course not their fault, but they're picking up 5-7 points a game. It's a lot easier to get there than when you win, like 2-0, and you got to be part of those points. So it takes a lot of hard work, and she's done a great job.
Well, and in that game at Wilmer, Brooke Zierden scored like a minute 7 into the game, minute 4 into the game. And when you're on the road like that, and especially in this conference, it's so important to get a good start. And boy, there's nothing like a goal in the first couple minutes to get it going.
Yeah, good spark. Do your job. Go forecheck, get it out to the point. As they do, Katz moves it over, and she takes a hard, low shot. The ones goalies don't like because they can ping pong around anywhere. And with that traffic in front of the net, it ended up in the back of the net, and it's really nice to see. There's nothing fancy about Brooke. She just gets that puck and fires it, and a lot of times good things will happen there.
And you mentioned, too, that the Cardinals were on the power play 6 times. The good news is they didn't score on the power play. So talk about your penalty kill. What's making them efficient right now?
Practice, because if you're going to do it 6 times a game, you better be good at it. But we try to force them to make a play, and if they can get two good passes or more in a row, which isn't easy to do, and make a pretty play, then you got us, But we're going to make you do that, and then again, Mia's been, very, very good on the kill. That's always your best penalty killer is your goalie. So. Yep. Hopefully we don't have as many opportunities there, but we keep saying that, but we don't do it.
Last night, East Grand Forks made the trek. I was kind of surprised at the way the weather was, and especially in that part of the state, that they even came. But they showed up, and then they really showed up in the third period. But you were down 3-2 after 2, and then they put it away with 3 in the third period. What kind of turned the tide there for the Greenwood? Because as I mentioned, you had a pretty good advantage in shots.
just defensive breakdowns. So we got 40 shots. 37 of them at least were contested. They congested right in front of the net, and they had great sticks, and they committed defensively. And so we really had to work to get shots on net, and we still got 40. So we're in the zone, and we're just not getting the clean looks. And when they come down, we're not committing defensively from all 5 positions enough to contest those shots, and that shows up on film, and then it's so that's the story last night. Then it's a different story the next night, and you know, when you put some losses together like this, it's a test. It's all about resiliency and character, and you know, who doesn't put their head down and show up for the next day, because that's what you have to do, because nobody cares. That's what I tell the girls is the world doesn't stop. You got to get back on the horse and get back after it.
I think I heard that quote last night on the post-game interview.
Did that? It's a blur.
I think you used that one.
Did I do a post game? I don't even remember.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Okay,
you did. You're great for coming up, even after a game that you'd rather probably not talk right now. Avery Tonneson got your 2 goals last night. There's a girl. Avery has really made strides for you this year.
Yeah, she's been bitten for the shot that she possesses, and the work ethic. You know, I'm sure she's thinking she should have way more goals this year. This is the way it happens, but that's the resiliency and character I'm talking about. Is she showed up last night and got two great goals. You know, we talked about making a play, and she held on to that puck and made a great hockey play. And the work that she does on her shot, twice she beat the goalie clean just with some rockets. And so it's fun to see you know, a kid that might be a little frustrated offensively have that smile, and then she does the gritty when she comes by the bench, and that's always cute.
East Grand, Blake Schultz had 5 points last night. Their first line is really good.
Yeah.
Tough matchup.
Yeah, she had 4 goals the last time we played them.
Yep.
So the idea is we got to stop her, but she has a different plan than that apparently. She sees the ice well.
Yeah.
She knows where to find time and space, and she can rip it, and you know, we can be on a 40-second forecheck, and we have the slightest breakdown, and it goes the other way, and we get scored on. You know, so that's part of the deal. And when you have someone like that on your team, you're never out of the game, and I think she showed that last night.
Bemidji today, what's the scouting report?
Well, last time we beat them in overtime down at our holiday tournament. We played our best, most complete game. And that's the best Mia's ever played in her life. And it was really fun to watch. So we know we're capable of it, but we're going to have to do that again. They're a skilled team, and you know, we thought Schultz was a problem, but they got Bailey Rupp, and she's really something else too. So we know who she is and where she is, and we just have to stop it. But what we have to do is score on our opportunities. You know, last night, if we have 40 shots and get 2, that's not good enough. We need to put the puck away and take some of that pressure off the defensive zone.
All right, we want to hear Mark Johnson get excited today, so let's do that. 3 o'clock is game time for the Varsity Community Arena in Fergus Falls. You can catch the play-by-play with Mark on channel 977 FM AM 1020, and you can watch it live, video streaming through the Fergus Now app. 3 o'clock start. Get over there if you can. If not, we've got it covered for you. Tim, thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks, Mark.
And thank you
Craig
for joining us. We'll be back next Saturday from 8 to 9:30 on News Talk 1250 KBRF and streaming live on the Fergus Now app with our Coaches Show. Have a great weekend.